This is a short version of an Amazon market analysis for a dairy-free ranch mix. Okay, let's switch over to the other screen. When we do a search for dairy-free ranch mix, and we're doing the mix because specifically we're looking for the dry kind, not the wet kind or oil-based or different things like that. So this one here by Farrell Specialty Foods is one of the ones that comes up. We also have this Mom's Place. And we can also look at the price here. So $15, $5. This one is another one by this Farrell company. And this is Buffalo Ranch. And then there's a handful. There's this this one here. From I can't tell if this is a dry or it almost looks like a dressing packet, but I think it's dry. When you look at the ingredients, there's nothing in there like oils or different things like that. So I think it's a dry item. That's not correct. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll look at some of these that are selling relatively well, and we'll see, what's going on and how much they're selling, what it costs to fulfill, and different things like that. Okay, here's the first one. This one's selling very well. We're looking at about 457 units a month. And it's an 8-pack for basically $15. The reviews are looking pretty good. They've got 98 and mostly 5 stars. Ingredients. Here's some information on the company. Looks like they have a fair amount of different seasoning packets. And it looks like on some of these you can get them as a packet, or some of them you can get them as a shaker. And if we look at the reviews on these, one of the things to look at is the negative reviews. That'll show you where there are problems, where there's stuff that the customers don't like. Okay, here we go. 1, didn't like it. Too salty. Okay, well, that's relatively easy to understand. We can go here to the 5. So a lot of people seem to like it. It's overall definitely a good looking product as far as the customer reviews. So let's switch to the next one. All right, here is the Farrell Specialty Foods. We're looking at unit sales about 310 units a month, $15. And it comes in a shaker. Looks like it's a 5-ounce jar. Okay, here's Farrell Specialty Foods. So they've got some information on here. They've got a little carousel that shows some of the attributes of not just this particular product, but their entire product line. Okay, dairy free. All right, so let's take a look at the reviews on this. All right, when we look at the negative reviews, and they have a lot of reviews here. All right, received open, not sealed. So that's something to pay attention to. Sometimes, depending on where this is made, they may or may not have a double seal on this. Or it's also possible that Amazon accepted a return that was open and then sent it back out. So something to pay attention to. And then this one here, this person has an issue with the celiac or gluten-free. So let's look at this particular picture. All right, so this product is formulated with gluten-free ingredients, but it's produced in an area where products containing gluten are also made. So they might be in a commercial kitchen where other things are being made. So it's something to pay attention to. I don't know if they specifically advertised that it was celiac safe, but it's it's gluten free, but it's produced in a place where there could be cross contamination, and this customer had an issue with that. Unable to return. Tastes like dill. Tastes like nothing. No taste. not ranch. Didn't like it. So these are the reviews, but still overall, it's 71% positive, 5% negative. So I would say overall, out of all the reviews that they have on this particular one, which is, let's look here, we have 936 ratings. I would say that's overall going to be I would say that's overall, a good rating, and more people like it than don't like it. Now, to set up an example of what this would cost to fulfill using Amazon, we go over to the calculator, and we're looking specifically at this particular product. So the unit weight is a third of a pound. The package dimensions are 2.6, 2.6, 5.87. So that's basically just the actual jar itself. And because it's plastic, there's probably not, they probably didn't put it in a box or bubble wrap or anything like that, because they don't need to, because it's not a fragile item. And so if the unit price is roughly $15, that means Amazon is going to take $1.20. Now the fulfillment cost is $4.08. Which means at $15, you're ending up with $9.30 revenue coming back. Now, of course, you need to balance that against your cost of goods sold, your inbound shipping costs, and that does include any packaging for inbound shipping. And then you can calculate what your actual true net margin is. All right, next product is this Spiceology. They're selling about 200 units a month. It's got the ratings seem to be relatively good. Only 92 ratings on it. So they've got information from basically the brand itself, so that people can see the other items that are available under this particular brand name. So this one, they're advertising as a salt-free, but it apparently is also dairy-free. They show all the other options under that brand. So next, we're looking at this Mom's Place gluten-free and dairy-free creamy ranch dressing mix. This is a very plain-looking. It just has the. This is a very plain-looking listing. It has the package itself. And the package is a pouch with a sticker on it, and then it's got information on the back. Ingredients are salt, garlic powder, onion powder, minced onion, black pepper, parsley flakes, dill, and it shows you how to mix it with either dairy or non-dairy ingredients in order to make the final product. A couple pictures of the ranch after it's done. They don't have any A+ content. So very basic listing. It's selling about 175 units a month at $5 a piece. And we can do a quick analysis on this and see what it costs. So this particular item is going to cost $5. Amazon's going to take 40 cents of that. It's $2.45 for fulfillment, which means overall you're going to end up with $1.84 coming back per unit. Something like this, I would recommend at least doubling this, make it like a 2-pack and make it $10. And we can actually calculate pretty quickly here to see what that would cost. Okay, putting this together as if it was a 2-pack. So basically, in order to do that, all I've done is I've doubled the thickness and doubled the weight. The X and the Y are going to be the same, but the Z is going to be stacked too high. And I just put the price at $9.99. So if we did that, then Amazon's going to take 80 cents. The fulfillment is $2.54, so not much more than what we had last time. So we're going to end up with $6.34. So one of the things you need to look at when you're doing fulfillment is what does it cost to get this into the customer's hands. And so sometimes it makes sense to make a 2-pack or a 4-pack or something like that, and other times it doesn't, and you need to calculate that at each time. So what we're looking at here is $6.34 revenue off of 2 units. What we had before was $1.84 revenue per 1 unit. So when you do it this way, you're looking at $3.17 per unit revenue coming in, or an additional $1.33. And all we did was put 2 in a package and sell it for $9.99 instead of 1 in a package and sell it for $5. So effectively, we're offering the exact same thing, but because we're paying attention to the fulfillment, we're actually making $1.33 more, or for the 2-pack, that's going to be $2.66 more for every single transaction we do. Okay, and this one's doing about 110 units a month. And this one says it's low FODMAP, and it's certified kosher. We've got the ingredients on here. And this one's specifically targeting low FODMAP. And overall, it's got a little bit less. It's 4.2, so the 5-star ratings are a little bit less than some of the previous ones, but we have 254 ratings, so 4.2, it's not great, but it's okay. They've got information on here. They've got their line of spices, so that if the customer likes this particular one, they can look at the other ones that are available. And then looking at the reviews, so it looks like some people don't like it, upset their stomach, too salty, not ranch, more dill, which was a complaint on one of the other ones, tasted too much like dill. Product open on transit. Okay, I don't know what you can really do on that. Let's take a look. Yeah, maybe they didn't double seal it or something like that, because it is just a bottle by itself thrown in a bag. So for the people that didn't like it, seems like they really didn't like it. So for the people that like it, it looks like the FODMAP is being mentioned multiple times. All right, let's move to the last one. And this one looks like it's just a bulk. It's got 136 ratings, 3.9, so even a little bit lower. And we're looking at a little bit more of a stack on this 1-star. So let's see what other information we have on here. We've got the ingredients, parsley, garlic, onion, black pepper, dill. No A+ content. That's the extra stuff that we saw at the end of some of the other listings. If we look at the 1-stars, people say it tastes okay, but doesn't taste like ranch. This one has too much garlic. This one says it doesn't taste like anything. Too much garlic. Not really ranch. Not like ranch. So that's for the ones that didn't like it. For the ones that did like it, good ranch mix. Good product. Overall, for a dairy-free ranch mix, there are a handful of products on the market, roughly about 5. It seems to be selling reasonably well. This is the top one right here, selling about 457 units a month. So what that tells me is there is a demand from the market to purchase these particular things. The ratings are, mostly good, but some of them are mixed. A common complaint is that it doesn't taste like ranch, or it doesn't taste like anything, or there's too much salt. So these are things that people are talking about. So when you make your own formula, then you want to make sure that you're paying attention to all the reviews for all the other competitors that are doing relatively well out there, and make sure that you hone your recipe to meet the needs of, the bulk of the consumer that's going to want this particular product. Now, and you might also look at this one here comes in a form factor of an individual pouch, which you get 8 of. The other ones come in a shaker. So something to think about on what is your packaging and how much does that cost. I'm going to assume that loading this into a single plastic jar with a shaker top is probably less expensive than putting it in a pouch like this. However, it depends on how the customer is going to use it. With this particular one, they'll know, okay, I have 1 pouch, I put in X number of ingredients, I mix it with this, that's always the recipe. 1 pouch plus whatever ingredients gives me what I want. When you have a shaker, people could put more, put less, and depending on the type of customer, they may want to be able to add more seasoning without having to use 2 pouches or something like that. So something to think about. And then also, what's your capability of manufacturing? To me, it's going to be a little more difficult to put something into a pouch than it is to put something into a bottle, because you could hand fill that at a commercial kitchen. And these other pouches, usually this is going to be something where you need some kind of equipment to, open up the pouch, drop it in, seal it, and then put that into its final packaging, which is going to be a small cardboard box in this particular situation. And then also, that cardboard box, does that get damaged in the Amazon shipping process to where when the customer gets this, it looks like a nice display case like it would be on a retail shelf in a grocery store, but if you send that in an envelope via Amazon, is it going to get mashed? Now, the final product is not going to get damaged, but if the box that this thing comes in is damaged, when the customer gets it, that's going to be a negative experience. So something to think about is, how do you want to package it? How does the customer want it packaged? And that's going to be one of the things to solve ahead of time by talking to your audience, asking them how they want this delivered and what is important to them.